welcome to my studio. Today we're working on our first Christmas, and we're doing it with the little red truck, which is all the rage right now. So if you've got somebody that's recently got married, this would be an awesome thing to do for them. It's real quick, simple, and fun. Let's get started. So we're going to do an Our First Christmas, and we're going to do it with a little red truck. And this is on a wood round, and wood rounds are really, really big right now, so that's something to think about. I wanted to show the wood knot, unfortunately I think I kind of covered it up a little bit, but it looks like a flame coming from the engine when I get done here. So, because you have to think about where all of this is going. So I wanted to put my 2007 right there, but that doesn't work. And I had taken my tree off, and I'm going to glue the truck down, but after we get it done, we're going to do it today with our Scorch marker. This is just so fast, so simple and easy. I've got a video on how to use them all the way and all the fun things you can do with them. So we're just going to press it down until it starts to become liquid. And I'm going to use the round end. And I have already written this out, and you have to erase it. You can erase it with the eraser, or you can even sand it off if you really needed to do it again. So you want to make sure that you can see the liquid going on first. Another thing that I wanted to talk to you about real quick is we also drilled a hole so you could hang it from the tree. So you want to make sure that that aligns with everything else, and make sure we've got this a little bit over. It should have been a little bit more this direction. It's nice to show you things that I do wrong so you can correct them and do them right, because so many times we do the same thing. So I'm going to heat this up now with my... This is a heat gun. This is not an embossing gun, and it is very, very, very hot. And we don't do it on our table, and that's the reason why. We're going to use one of our silicone mats. If you don't have one, we have those at miriamjoy.com. We also have the heat gun. So we're going to heat it up, and the more you heat it up, the more it comes out. You need to move it as you're working. Don't leave it in one spot. You'll burn it. So you want to keep that working. And the whole wood will kind of start to warm up. Maybe we'll get here until it's a colder day today. There we go, we're starting to change. Usually once it starts going, it really moves fast. I should have done my pencil just a little bit lighter so that it didn't show up as much. So think about that when you're working with it. And of course, the wood piece is going to be really hot, so be careful if you're touching it. And this part in the middle didn't get quite sanded as well as we should have. If you don't like your design, it didn't turn out the way you want it, it didn't adjust the way you want it, heat it up or sand it off and start again. Real simple. Do not metal part is really, really hot. Okay, so we're going to give that a minute to kind of lighten or cool down here. We're going to start working with our red truck. If you can't find the red trucks, we did pick up a couple at miriamjoy.com if you need them. And I am just removing the wires from the red truck. And if there's any glue that's showing or anything like that, go ahead and take that off. Now I'm going to teach you a little trick here. We're going to do gluing. And what this gluing is going to be is it's going to be short term and long term. We're going to do that by putting some hot glue on it. So that short term keeps it there, but if you had it up in the attic or anything like that, we're going to put some E6000 on it as well so that it will stay over long term. And now I'm going to go ahead and do my glue gun. I am using the hot setting because I need it to be a little bit hotter for a while here. And we got it turned down to number 2 here. Oh well, we'll see if it'll do. We want to just put a little bit on the windows, but not too much. And I probably have used up too much time. Okay, now that we've got that part done, we're going to do our tree. And what we're going to do with our tree, because he's sitting a little bit lower here, is we're going to flatten this side a little bit. And that just makes him lay down and not stick straight up, so you can kind of get him down in that position. And make sure you've got enough room between everything else. I'm going to put just a little bit on the stem, but not very much at all, because you do not want that to push out and not be able to see all that extra glue. But you got to make sure he looks like he's in the truck as well. If you want to put a little bit of E6000 on him, you can feel free to do that. I'm going to hold him for just a minute here. Let him finish drying, and then we'll finish him up. I wanted to show you, I went ahead and re-drilled the hole. I'm going to fix that. We're going to use quick wood. I have a lot of videos out on that. First thing I'm going to do is put some vegetable oil on my hands. And we're going to remove the silver part. The hardest part is cutting a small enough piece off to use. So I only need a tiny bit, but that's so hard. We're going to put our silver thing back on and close it up. And then that lasts for a long time. So we've got 2 parts epoxy. We've got the white in the middle and the brown on the outside. And you have to knead them together to get it activated. It can work about 20 minutes. It's rock hard in an hour. So this will show you how to fix it. If on this project, if you need a tiny bit of water, you can dip your fingers in some water just to make it smoother. I'm going to put it, I'm not going to drink out of that and touch it. You want to be really careful with that. But I've got that moisture in my hands now, and it's more pliable. So we're going to end up sticking it in that little hole. And I'm going to probably have way too much quick wood. If you have something that needs repaired, or we use hangers or different things like that. There's all kinds of things you can do with the quick wood. So when you have extras, I asked my husband what he needs to have stay on the wall or anything like that. Okay, we've got it covered up. You could also paint over the top of it, sand it, anything you need to do to that. Another thing, if you wanted to varnish this, varnish it before you glue on the truck. If you want to keep it woodsy looking, you should use a matte or flat varnish. Use Krylon, Rust-Oleum, brush on. It doesn't matter. Anything that's easy for you to do. I just don't do it when I'm doing my videos because the reflection comes back, but it wouldn't do that as much with the flat. So we're going to put our string on and decorate it a little bit here. So we're going to do our hanger now. And you can use whatever you want. I am using some just regular twine, and you can use leather straps, you can use ribbon, you can use all kinds of things. I'm going to do mine a little bit bigger here. I'm not going to tie it like that because it goes on the tree and then it gets turned sideways. So we need to do it different. You either can tie a bow on there, but we're going to cover that up anyway. So I'm just going to do one simple knot down at the bottom up against the wood, if I can get it in here. And I'm going to pull that down nice and tight. If everybody wants to work together, come on. And then we're going to go ahead and do another one up on top. And that's why we cut it longer. And I've got one that's a little bit longer than the other ones. That's okay. We'll just even that out up here. So now you can put this on your tree, and it should be hanging more front than it will be to the side. And we've got this. We're going to go ahead and decorate this, and I like to use pieces from my Christmas garland. I will buy these on sale or at thrift stores. They have tons of garland usually. I mean, it doesn't go bad. And I'm going to cut it in half here, or sometimes I'll even go sneak a little bit from a wreath. But if I've got it hanging and it's there, that's so little of an amount that I can do that and nobody would ever know. So that's a couple of ways to look at it. I'm going to put 2 at least on here. Put this on and stick these under. You want to make sure that you have this going the right direction. See how it's pointing going this direction? So you want to put it going out, not going in. And you want to kind of keep this back enough that we're not going to cover up our words. If we need to trim it a little bit, we can come in here and trim it a little bit as well. So we've got that guy on. So we're going to go over and do the other side here. That's another project on the back. Don't tell anybody. Actually, that was Mr. and Mrs. I did a video on that. That's great for weddings, favors, stuff like that. That was a fun little video. We do have a wood rounds at Miriam Joy. If you need help looking for them, send us an email at art@miriamjoy.com. Let's see how this already helps that look a little bit more holiday. And would be fun to do a little red poinsettia or anything like that. I've got some red berries here I'm going to try. I don't know if they're too big or not. So we're going to see see how we do with these. But you could put anything you wanted up here. What do you have? What's around your house that you have pieces of that you need to use up or anything like that? That's where things like this come in handy. So we're just going to stick that out there, and I'm going to do 2 more on the other side, I think. I think that'll hide enough. We're not going to worry about it. And I maybe put a little bit of bow in for color here. I've got some small bows. I think a green one would go really well, because we've got the red berries. Make sure you're not losing your hanger. Well, I hope you had a fun time with that. Take it, use it, and you also could put some more information on the back of it if you wanted to. If you didn't have enough room on the front, you could continue it on the back where it's two-sided. So there's all kinds of things you can do with that. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, subscribe to our YouTubes so that we can continue to bring you more. God bless.